Shalom, shalom. This video is about John, Gospel of John chapter 4, verse 22 to 34. It's about this Samaritan woman at Jacob's well and her initial first of a few prayers of worship. I'll read the Bible text for you. So, Yeshua, he left Judea. Remember, we spoke about his disciples were baptizing people, and now they all left and went back again to the Galilee. From Judea up to the Galilee, a distance of about 160, maybe more kilometers by foot. But he needed to pass through Samaria because that's the shortest direct route. He came to a Samaritan town called Shechem, near the plot of land that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. So Yeshua, exhausted from the journey, was sitting by the well. It was midday. A Samaritan woman came to draw water. "Give me a drink," Yeshua told her, for his disciples had gone away to the town to buy food. Then the Samaritan woman told Yeshua, "How is it that you, a Jew, ask me, a Samaritan woman, for a drink?" I think this next part may be a gloss, but maybe she said it. For Jewish people don't deal with Samaritan. I think it's a gloss that was inserted as an explanation much later. Yeshua replied to her, the Samaritan woman, "If you knew the gift of God and who it is who is saying to you, 'Give me a drink,' you would have asked him and he would have given you living water." "Sir," the woman told him, "you don't have a bucket and the well is deep. Then from where do you get this living water? You're not greater than our father Jacob, are you? He gave us this well. He drank out of it himself with his sons and his cattle." And Yeshua replied to her, "Everyone who drinks from this water will get thirsty again, but whoever drinks of the water I will give him shall never be thirsty. The water that I give him will become a fountain of living water within him, springing up to eternal life." "Sir," the woman replied to Yeshua, "give me this water so I won't get thirsty and have to come all the way here to draw water." And Yeshua told her, "Go call your husband and then come back here." "I don't have a husband," the woman replied. Yeshua told her, "You've said it right. I have no husband. For you have had 5 husbands, and the man you have now isn't your husband. This you've spoken truthfully." "Sir," the woman told him, "I see you are a prophet. Our fathers worshipped on this mountain, but you all say that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem." And Yeshua told her, "Woman, believe me, an hour is coming when you will worship the Father, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You worship what you do not know, we worship what we know, for salvation is from the Jews. But an hour is coming, and it is here now, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and truth, for the Father is seeking such people as his worshippers. God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and truth." The woman told Yeshua, "I know that Messiah is coming, he who is called the Anointed One." That may again be a gloss, an explanation of the meaning of the word Messiah, the Anointed One. "I know that Messiah is coming, he who is called the Anointed One. When he comes, he will explain everything to us," the woman said to Yeshua. Yeshua told her, "I, the one speaking to you, I am." At this moment, his disciples came back and they were amazed that he was speaking with a woman. Yet no one said, "What do you want?" or "Why are you speaking with her?" So the woman left her water jar and went back to the town. She told the people, "Come see a man who told me everything I ever did. He couldn't be the Messiah, could he?" And the people left town and began coming to him, to Yeshua. Okay, we'll just look at her first prayer. When you talk to God, it's called a prayer. So I'll just look at her first remark to Yeshua. The Samaritan woman represents all Gentiles, and specifically the Christian church in this interchange. She represents us. She is of us, one of us. She is us. Her initial prayer is so typical of the church prayers ever since the 4th century. How is it that you, a Jew, ask me, a Gentile or a Samaritan woman, for a drink. Even through the last 2,000 years, the church have hated and persecuted God's chosen people, Israel, or also known as the Jews. The church's hands are full of Jewish blood. The church conforms exactly to John's surprising vision of the great harlot of Revelation 17. The modern and postmodern church continues to deny the Jewish Messiah, as his Jewishness is not palatable in the anti-Semitic world of the Christian church, also in our self-centeredness in the church. The Samaritan woman's initial hostility is a true picture of the church through the ages. This may be the reason why the Bible text is strangely written in the present tense, and not in my notes that I read to you, because I corrected it, and many of the loose and fast Bible translations also fix the tenses, the narrative. But if you look at the older and a truer translation of the Bible, you'll see that the text is written in the present tense. It's because it's applicable to us today. This is why Yeshua said to the woman that we Gentiles do not know what we worship. He was speaking to us in his address to the Samaritan woman. And I want to stress that again. We Gentiles, we have no idea what we worship. Salvation is from the Jews. Yeshua's own words. Let's take a step back for clarity. Shechem is rich in history, and we have to understand that to understand the text that we're reading. Jacob settled close to Shechem and dug a well there. That was where the prince of Shechem raped Dinah, the only daughter of Jacob, when she visited with other young girls to play. In response, Dinah's brothers Simeon and Levi then killed all the men of Shechem. And the vile spirit of child molesting, however, continued amongst the ancient Canaanite nations and became to the fore again in Muhammad, who married a 6-year-old girl and consummated that marriage when she was only 9 years old. Followers of his demonic ways, Muhammad's demonic ways, still marry and rape innocent children to this day. Even though Elohim promised the land to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob, both Abraham and Jacob still paid for land there as well. As with other practice or other patches of land that Elohim gave to Israel as a gift of love, but was still paid for, and I'm referring to the Temple Mount that was paid for by King David. It seems that this act of payment brought curses over those portions of land. As today, exactly those portions of land are occupied by Islamists who have no historic and most certainly no legal claim to those pieces of land, parts of land. Shechem lies in the valley between the Mount of Blessings and the Mount of Curses. This is important to understand. The latter is where Abram first, and then 500 years later when Israel entered the promised land after the Exodus, Joshua also built altars to sacrifice unto Adonai on the Mount of Curses or Mount Ebal. Spiritually, each one of us visits Shechem between the two mountains to choose to either serve the God of Israel or to serve the false god of this world. And this is what Yeshua was talking about in his discussion with the woman at the well. This is the significance of Shechem. And it underlines what we read in the passage. If you don't understand Shechem, you miss the extent of this conversation. It is in this light, the light of Shechem's history, that Yeshua asked the Samaritan woman for a drink of water, and she responded with animosity. And just like that, the church did the same and worse to the Jews. It was Martin Luther's theology that justified the Holocaust. This baseless hatred and mass murder in a war on civilians, especially targeting women and children, this is Martin Luther's theology in practice. What anti-heroes those Nazis were. It is in the face of this baseless hatred that Yeshua responded with, if you knew the gift of God and who it is who's saying to you, give me a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. Maim Chahim in Hebrew. This invitation is offered to you and to me today as well, as we stand in our spiritual Shechem, between the Mount of Blessings, Gerizim, and the Mount of Curses, Mount Ebal. And we have to decide. The gift of God referred to in the text is salvation and blessings through Yeshua. So I want to appeal to you, please choose wisely. Please choose Him. He is the gift of God. Please ask Him to water you with living water, and He will do so. Shalom, shalom.